All right, so what is the most nutrient-dense food on the planet? Not plants, organ meats. Organ meats have 10 to 100 times more concentrated nutrients than muscle meat. You know, like if you were going to get a chicken breast or a steak or a hamburger, it has more bioavailable iron, zinc, selenium, vitamin A, vitamin D, B12, magnesium, B1, B2, alpha-lipoic acid, B6, phosphorus, choline, coenzyme Q10, well, certain types of organ meats like the heart tissue, for example, and K2, okay? Now, here's the problem with plants. There's no B12, there's no D3, there's no DHA, which is an omega-3 fatty acid. You get the precursor, which is ALA, but you only convert a certain amount. The other problem with plants is that the vitamin A is in the form of a pre-vitamin A. And if you're going to compare vitamin A, it's really like 20 times less. Of course, they don't really tell you about that. They just say vitamin A, but it's in the form of beta carotene. The other problem with plants is they have phytates, which are anti-nutrients. So they block certain minerals like iron, calcium, magnesium, zinc. So even though certain vegetables might have more magnesium, for example, the question is, are they available to you? Now, the reason why I recommend plants for magnesium and potassium, because it's much easier to get that nutrient, because you would have to consume, 700 grams of animal meats to get the same magnesium, for example, as you would 7 cups of vegetables. So plants definitely are good for certain things. And this is, of course, why you'd want to combine eating plants with the animal products, unless you have very severe gut issues. So now the question is, what do plants have that organ meats don't have? Well, they are loaded with something called phytonutrients. And phytonutrients have some seriously amazing effects for your health: anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, antimicrobial, antiviral. The list goes on and on and on. So phytonutrients give us a lot of benefit with our health. Plants have more vitamin K1, and I've already mentioned the potassium and the magnesium. So you would want to combine them, but realize that organ meats, out of all the foods, have the most concentrated nutrients in the most bioavailable source. So personally, even though I know that, I don't like to consume organ meats. I just don't like the taste. So sometimes I'll get them in supplements, or I'll get them hidden in hamburger. For example, US Wellness Meats has various products, various types of hamburger that they blended in certain organ meats. And the one that I really like, which I'll put a link down below, and by the way, I don't get any kickbacks or anything like that, is the one with hamburger with a little bit of heart meat, which is loaded with coenzyme Q10. And I will say, when I consume that, I do feel I have more endurance. So you might want to check that out. Hey, before you go, real quick, I have a course entitled How to Bulletproof Your Immune System. It's a free course. I want you to take it. And here's why. Here's you. Here is your environment. Everyone is focused on this over here, avoiding your environment. But what about here? What about strengthening your immune system? That's what's missing. This course will show you how to bulletproof yourself, and so you can tolerate and resist your environment much better by strengthening your own immune system. I put a link down in the description right down below. Check it out and get signed up today.